Okay, our next card is a very simple shaker card, and I'm using some yellow polka dot paper from My Creative Life by Katie Skilton, and I'm going to use the wine glass die. And I'm going to cut out the wine glass 3 times, and that is going to be our windows for the shaker card. It's going to be a happy birthday card. It's very simple. It's going to look so cute. And also this card is a little bit smaller than your A2 size. It's 5 by 3.75. So let's cut this wine glass out, and I'm going to cut out 3. So we have this top part cut off, and this is going to be the back of the card. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shade the back of this card a purpley pinkish color so it looks like the wine glasses are filled up, but I'm not going to go all the way to the top. I'm going to go kind of 3/4. So just by using a colored pencil, I'm going to mark how high I'm going to go with the shading. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just so I have an idea of how high I want to go. So right around here is how I want to go, how high I want to go. Because it is a smaller area, I'm gonna go in with these mini little blending brushes. We're gonna use the pink and purple here, so let's take those out. And I'm gonna go in with the purple first. Actually, we're gonna go with the pink. I find it that it's easier to go in with the lighter color first and then going in with the darker. So just roughly, again, does not have to be perfect. The only thing I will say is don't go all the way to the edges. I almost did right there because the edges will be peeking through. Let's go in with the purple now. Even go in with a little bit of red because it is wine after all. Yeah, I like that. Some fiery red wine. Let's see what this looks like. I like it. Okay, and to add a little bit more embellishment to the top of this card, I'm gonna go in with the little sparkle stamps from the stamp set. You can tell there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of sparkles. I'm gonna go in kind of randomly. It doesn't really matter too much, but I'm just gonna use a little stamping block and some gold ink. You can also do some heat embossing. I think these little sparkles would look so gorgeous using some embossing powder. But me and embossing powder don't always get along, so I'm just going in with some simple sparkles here and there with some gold ink. Here's what that looks like. Just adds some more sparkles to the card. And now for the fun part, let's make this into a shaker. So I have a piece of acetate here, and I'm going to eyeball the size that I need. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just needs to cover the surface. And let's glue it on to the back. We'll get some foam tape. I like this foam tape, it's thin. And just put it around where we're gonna have our shaker card. I am gonna have each wine glass be filled with a different color. So I'm gonna add a little divider between each. And you know what I just decided to do? I'm deciding to curve the edges because who doesn't love a good curved edge? So I'm gonna go in with my little corner cutter here. Make sure you actually do this before you put the foam tape on. It'll make things easier. So now I'm going to use sequins to just place them into each of the 3 slots. I just eyeball them. I know there's different ways to make it more accurate, but eyeballing has been working for me for these larger squares. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to do a little array of colors. I'm going to start with orange. Then I'm going to do pink. So I just attached the top of the card to the base of the card to finish the shaker portion of the card. And then for a sentiment, I'm going to use the All the Occasion stamp set. This is part of my collection. It's super great for beginners. There's 24 different sentiments to create any type of card that you could ever need. And of course, since this is a happy birthday card, let's use the happy birthday sentiment. I'm just attaching it to a stamping block. I find that using those are very convenient for small things like this. And then I'm using a scrap piece of paper. I never waste any paper. And then just with some black ink, use pressure all over the stamping block. And then to cut it out, I had the perfect little scalloped die to cut out the sentiment, and I just positioned it at the top in the center. I'm going to attach it using some foam tape. I love using foam tape, especially for sentiments, because it adds some 3D-ness to the card, and I think it always looks great. Okay, we are now finished with our second card. It shakes well. I added some bows, which is completely optional. We have the happy birthday sentiment at the top, and it looks super cute. Let's get on to our third card.